y'all. We're just making a quick video about Love is Blind. Excuse me. Tomorrow night, the rest of the episodes are being released. So we just thought we would give our take on some of the couples that ended up being together. I didn't want to do a recap because honestly, it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
It was pretty boring. This is like the most boring season that we've ever seen, honestly. There were a couple little things that were like, ooh, that might end up being spicy, but it was pretty boring. So, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. It was not very exciting.
No, it's pretty bland. People
Yeah.
keep complaining online about it and saying it's not like very diverse, the cast. And I will give them that. Because when I was watching the pods for the first couple of days, a lot of the guys looked exactly the same. And I couldn't remember who was who. Like Daniel looked like Mason and Mason kind of looked like Dave. Yeah, it was kind of strange. And the girls all have the same wavy blonde hair. So I don't know. I don't know how that happened. So I'll give people that because it is pretty boring. All right. So first couple that I want to talk about is Daniel and Taylor. So let's talk about Daniel and Taylor.
Right.
What can we say about Daniel? So,
well, I know that Daniel was the guy that was concerned that he might not be tall enough for whoever his lady he met was, I guess he had faced. He said I think he had faced that sort of thing in the past with women where they just, I guess, thought he was just too short.
Yeah, they said over like the last 10 years, he's had a really difficult time. He said over the last decade that he's had a really difficult time trying to date women because he says he's too short and that they've had a problem with it. But I don't know. Did he ever say how short he was? And what his height was?
I don't. What didn't he say? Like 5'10" or something?
That's not even short.
No. That was the thing. He's like, no. Especially after when they met, I didn't. He wasn't. He was no shorter than she was, and I'm sure she was probably wearing heels. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she had a dress with high heels on.
I didn't really think he was that short, but I don't know. He either way, he's something he's self-conscious about.
Yeah, and Taylor, I thought they looked perfect. They were perfect for each other. They seemed like they were in love. She was super happy. They met each other. She seemed good. And then, of course, it ended on that cliffhanger. So that cliffhanger where she had calls him into the hotel. It looks like it's breakfast time. And he walks in and sits down and she confronts him accusing him of having kind of like, not stalked, but just kind of like followed her on Instagram and that he knew what she looked like. And she made a really, really big deal about it. It was a little too dramatic, honestly. I think she took it a little far. So what if he even did see her on Instagram first? Like, who wouldn't want to go and stalk people on Instagram? Like, if they're, about to have a relationship with them, they want to know about their social media life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't fault him for that. I mean, he kind of looks like a deer in the headlights. She like comes at him like she's some detective, you followed me and then you unfollowed me. Well, how did she know that? Who's stalking who there?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think she's being a little bit dramatic. So.
Oh yeah. No, I think she just doesn't like him for some reason, and she's just using that as an excuse.
I think so too.
Because if she really liked him, I don't think she would care, even if it had been a stalking situation.
I agree. So okay, so we need to give a scale of 1 through 5. 5 being definitely they're going to make it, and 1 no way. Well, I guess I could say 0 to 5. 0 is hell no, right? 1 is 3 maybe they got a shot. 5 they're going to make it. What do you think?
You skipped 4.
I did. But you get the idea.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? What number are you going to give? What number are you going to give
So we're going from
Taylor and Daniel?
straight to 5.
Yeah, I can't count. What are you going to pick? I'm giving them the probability, the chance of making it. I'm giving them, I would have said a 3, but after watching her give her little interview today, I'm going to say a 1.
Yep, I agree.
She was a little too negative. She was negative Nancy in her interview today.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I hope we're wrong, but I feel like they're just not going to make it.
Well, yeah, it seems like she's getting hung up on that, stalking thing, which I don't even think that's what it was. But yeah, it sounds like she's getting hung up on that, which I believe ultimately she's going to use as the excuse to end the relationship.
I agree. I think she's going to, or that, or she's going to say he's too short. She's going to do something. I definitely think that she's a little bit of an overthinker. She's a little neurotic. Yeah. She's beautiful, but definitely a little on the crazy side with her thoughts. Okay, next couple.
Yep.
This is Joey and Monica. And it just gives off the whole Friends vibe, But
oh yeah.
From the TV show The Friends. But I mean, everything on the show appears that they're going to be super happy. They're perfect for each other. They're so cute. They were laughing. They were joking. They seemed like they had the greatest connection in the pods. So cute, so happy, so positive, smiling like this cute little Midwestern couple. But nothing's ever that perfect. So I really don't remember much about them, like personally right now. I just know he had that really heavy Midwestern accent, So that was really all that really stood out. And she was just really sweet. I just don't.
Well, he's got some real nice hair.
He's got some real nice hair, yeah.
Yeah.
But they said he's just growing it out so he can donate it.
Well,
so he's going to cut it off.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's even better. I mean,
Yeah, he seems like a really good guy. She was impressed when they met each other. She said he looked like Tarzan.
Yeah, well,
that was cute.
Well, he said he was a football player, I think, didn't he?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe he said he played in high school, and he seems like he's pretty fit, guy. I mean, I can see the Tarzan connection.
Oh yeah,
with the hair, and
so we'll see
the chiseled chin and all that.
Yeah, they seem like such a cute couple. So I'm gonna say 0 through 5. I'm gonna say 4. I'm saying 4. That they're gonna make it. I'm gonna say 4. What 0 through 5? I'm gonna say 4. Or maybe we should change it to percentages. I'm gonna say 80% chance they're gonna make it. Because no one's that perfect.
No, baby.
They're just too perfect.
I agree with you. You know what? How about like 3.5?
Okay, 3.5 stars.
Yeah,
that's what they get.
Because I agree with you. It just seems really good right now, but it just seems like underneath the surface, there's just
something bubbling,
lurking.
Something bubbling. Mm-hmm.
And so we're
nobody's that perfect.
Half a point off.
We'll take a half a star.
Yeah,
a 0.5%. Sorry about that, Joey and Monica.
Yeah.
All right, next couple, Lauren and Dave. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to give them 30%. So, which would be equal to like 2 stars in my book. I like her.
Well, you gotta tell me something about like significant about these people. I just can't go off their looks. Which one is she?
She was really sweet, but she was like fighting for him. He was stuck between her and Molly with the red hair.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was crying and he was, I don't know what to do. Okay. I like you, but I like her. I don't know. I never said you're my number one. I said you're my number one.
But she never had anyone else but him? Or she did?
As far as I know.
Okay. All right.
And that's what she told him. She was like, you're all I have. Like, that's it.
Okay.
And I don't know. I just think that he is, to me, He came into the pods real arrogant, real cocky. He thought he was funny. He started off every conversation with the girls making a stupid joke.
Oh, is this that guy?
So like when she said, yeah, I'm
Dude,
30,
we
and then he was
just
like, so you're not attractive anymore? Like, what? So when you hit 30, you're not attractive
we
anymore?
just can't
Yeah.
not.
He was so stupid. Like he sounded like he was, I don't know, some frat boy or something, just trying to make a dumb joke. And
Yeah.
yeah, he wasn't funny. He had all these inappropriate jokes, and I didn't like him. I didn't like him. He might be a great guy. I don't know, but I didn't like him.
And these people, that brings up a good point. That's something for me. These people, they seem, these people are like in their late 20s, aren't they? Most
Early
of them
30s.
early
Mhm.
30s even.
He's like 32 or something. She's 30.
Yeah,
Like,
just
it's time to
seems.
be married and settle down and have kids. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just this younger generation. That's what they do. They say, I guess, but we were so young.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Super young. Okay. So the next couple. I don't really like either of them. This is Sarah and Ben. This is a hard one.
Yeah.
This is a hard one. I think that they're both a little ignorant in the things that they talk about. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to sound like controversial. I just think that their expectations of one another were too high. She is very passionate about her social justice stuff, and that's fine. That's her thing.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think Ben is, and that's okay. That's his prerogative. But I don't think that you can force either way on either side on anybody. She can't force him to be that way, just like he can't force her to not be that way. So I think that this is a disaster. I'm giving them a 0.
Yeah.
Straight up, straight out the gate, because
Yep.
what she finds is very important. I think he's blowing smoke up her behind a little bit just so he can be with her. And I think that she is hearing what she wants to hear, and she's testing him and testing him and testing him, and he's like barely passing, and she's making excuses for him, like, oh well, he says he's a little bit on my side, he says, I don't know, I think it'll work out, I don't know. So I think she's convincing herself too, but I think in the thick of it, I don't think he's going to be going to any rallies or marches in the streets in Minnesota, and I don't think that she is going to be going to his church every week. I mean, she was very disappointed when he said, I go to church every Sunday and I would like you to come with me. And she was just like, huh? So I think that they both come from two different worlds, two different backgrounds. And not that I think that people can't make that work, because you can, but I think that neither of them are as open minded as they like to think they are.
Well, you can make something like that work, until, something, some catastrophe happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because then
you're coming at the solution to whatever that is from two different perspectives.
Yeah.
And, that's when people butt heads,
That's right. Because then you got to think about, that's fine that they each have their own opinions and they come from different worlds and different backgrounds. But when they start having kids, and he wants them in the church and she does not, and she wants them, maybe involved in these more social activities and he does not, and then you've got an issue. You have a serious issue when it comes to raising your children.
Yeah, I mean, even two people as closely aligned with all of that stuff as us, I mean, things just come up,
Yeah.
I mean,
so I think that, as terrible as it sounds, as soon as they started talking about this kind of stuff, and she was very strong about saying, this is how I feel, and I need somebody who's going to be on my side about it, I think they should have ended the relationship there, because he should have said, well, I'm not. I might could get there, but I don't really know. But I don't want to disappoint you. Like, I don't know. I think they should have just ended it. But I think they both wanted it so badly. They're willing right now. I mean, that right there is a perfect case of love is blind. Right now, it's blind. And it's going to come out the more they spend time with each other. And some instance is going to happen. and they're both going to take a dividing,
Oh yeah.
you know, a
It'll be
dividing stance.
entertaining.
Well, it'll be entertaining for us, but
We
it'll be
can say-
unfortunate for them.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
I'm giving them a 0 because I think the very first time
Sorry.
there's an issue, they're going to be on opposite spectrums, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say who is right or wrong, right? Everybody is right in their own mind. But like, you got to be on the same page if that's going to be your spouse. I mean, you just do. You have to be. Regardless of what side it is, it doesn't matter. You know, you can support things and not be 100% in the thick of it. But I don't think Ben is either way. So I think that Sarah is going to be highly disappointed, unfortunately.
Well, you definitely have to live in the same reality.
Yeah.
And I don't think these two do.
No, I think that they're craving love so badly that they're not seeing the reality.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's going to be explosive, I think, and it's going to be insulting. And I think it's going to be sad. So I'm sorry, they're getting a 0. 0%. Okay. Next couple. We got.
Who do you think is going to be insulted?
I think they're families. I think they're going to be like, you know, I think words are going to be said and feelings are going to get hurt and people are going to be insulted. Yeah. Because if I'm not saying she's going to do this, but like she seemed pretty vocal about calling like church and Christians very hypocritical.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's an insult. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't take that as an insult.
Yeah.
Because that's true. We are human. There's people that are hypocritical regardless of what religion, race, or creed you are. We don't get offended by that stuff, but she obviously, you know, has her opinions about that. And I think that if she goes meeting his family, and his family is a very, very religious family, and she starts spouting off those words in their home, there's going to be some feelings. So I just see it as a disaster. I think, you know, there's a line of respect, and I just don't see her as a respectful person just because of the things that she said, you know. But that's just me. Maybe I'm being extra sensitive about it. I don't know. I just think Ben was way more respectful to her than she was to him. That's all.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on. Like that girl says, moving on. Next couple is Devin and Virginia. And I'm so glad that he ended up picking Virginia. Because I liked her response when now don't laugh. Is that how you're going to laugh? I liked her response to him and his story of his ibuprofen addiction.
Oh, yeah.
We're not laughing at addiction. Addiction is a very serious thing. We know firsthand. I know I was addicted to sugar, and that may not be heroin or whatever, but it kills you. FYI, carnivore diet. Anyway, I liked her response because I felt like hers was so genuine. She literally shed tears, and and they had such a connection with talking about it being very prayerful and, you know, very positive. And I don't know, I just felt like, I know looks don't matter, but I just felt like they looked better. They fit better together. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it.
Well, I actually had a thought on this today.
Yeah.
Brings up actually something I was thinking about earlier.
About ibuprofen?
Yeah. Well, about this whole situation with the ibuprofen. And so, you know, I started thinking, well, what if that's not like such a crazy thing to hear? What if because I started thinking, you know, at one time in history, people would have like a cocaine addiction, you know, and then when somebody like came up to them and was like, oh man, I got this cocaine addiction, and then they would have the same thought that I had when I heard him say that about his ibuprofen. They're like, oh, what? How could you get addicted to cocaine? You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, they truly were, you know, so I'm thinking like, what if like, this is the first we're hearing
Of an ibuprofen
of an
addiction.
ibuprofen addiction. But what if like in like 10 years there's these like rehabs for like specifically for people that are addicted to ibuprofen? I mean, the way they change stuff up on us,
Yeah.
I could completely see that being a thing.
Yeah. And I don't even think it's just the fact that it is ibuprofen. I think it's just the fact that it's a pill. It's a substance that you are relying on that you can't get through the day without because you're in so much pain. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are making fun of him, but I mean, I commend him for not choosing harder stuff. He could have switched from ibuprofen to an actual like, I don't know what do you call them, like narcotics or something? Like what do you call
Yeah.
those kind of drugs? Yeah, stuff where you only
Yeah.
have a prescription. So
Opioid.
yeah, some kind of that, and that would have been way worse. But I mean, I feel bad because people are kind of making fun of them and stuff like that. But
Well, I laugh about it, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't call it an addiction. I mean, I never would have called it that. But I mean, I there for many years, I popped 5 to 6 ibuprofen a day.
yeah, for your back
You
and
know,
stuff. Yeah,
until I realized that my body was full of inflammation. Because of the food that I was eating. And then that's when I decided to start on the carnivore diet. And I mean, no kidding, for real. Like, I don't ever take ibuprofen anymore. I bought bottles. Remember, I used to buy bottles like 200 at a time.
I know. I remember.
But I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe I was addicted to them at that time
and didn't even know it.
and
I
didn't
don't
know
know.
it.
I don't know if it was possible.
Yeah. But
I
anyway,
don't know. But anyway, so Devin and Virginia, I'm gonna give 95%. I think that they are one of the couples that are going to last. I think that they had a sweet connection, and I think she is so sweet, and I think she had the perfect demeanor, like the perfect what's the word? Not mentality, but like the perfect just disposition for him. Like she's very sweet, very kind of demure, just I don't know, I just think that they were perfect. They complemented one each
well, she
other's.
seems genuine.
She does. She is very, very much so. So I'm giving them like a 95%. So I would say 4.7 stars. Out of all the couples that are going to make it, I think they are. And that's it. There isn't anybody else. The only other one that I would comment on that I think was pretty funny were these three. The three love triangle. Mason,
yeah.
Madison, and Alex. They were the controversial stuff that has come out about Alex. I'm not going to even comment on. But y'all look it up. Is bad. I'm not saying it's true because I wouldn't do that. But it's just so much stuff has come out and it's just so creepy. And I hope none of it's true. Not my business, but it's a little crazy. But anyway, Mason, I just didn't like Mason because he had this vocal fry, and every time he talked, Madison, I need you to be my wife. I don't know. I mean, every word, every breath, every movement, every conversation. I'd have to smack the back of his head and tell him to quit talking that way or eat some Ricola or something because nobody talks like that. What are you doing? What are you doing? And he was fighting for Madison. Alex was fighting for Madison. Madison probably should have picked Mason, but she kind of was like kind of mean a little bit. She was kind of using both of them. You could tell she was not cool. And then she broke up with Mason. Mason was just devastated. What am I gonna do?
Is he the one on the right?
Mason's on the left. Alex is on the right.
Oh.
And then so she goes back to the pods all hoity-toity. Like she's like, I'm gonna be with my Alex. Oh. Well, she goes and she tells Alex like, I'm gonna be with you, and Alex is like, no, you're not. Just kidding. Nah, I thought about it. I've reflected more, but I don't want you either. So
and dude just chose to go home.
He chose to go home. Mason was over there distraught for life. I can't live. Did you eat your oatmeal green pie? And devastated because he's got to go home. This is the biggest regret of my life. He got one for her because he said that, or she said that they're their favorite.
Like a little Debbie?
I don't know. They didn't show it. They just said cream pie. And
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Those cream. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Oh,
she completely played Mason. So I did not feel bad for her when Alex dumped her because she did nothing but trauma dump on the both of them. And it was just too much. She was a hot mess. I mean, you know, I'm bashing her and everything. Hopefully she's a wonderful person, but I didn't like how she treated Mason. She was going back and forth between them. And yeah, they were all supposed to date, obviously, but she took it too far. And then Alex turned around and dumped her. So I'm glad this trio is not on the show. Obviously, they're going to be on the show at some point because they always bring back everybody so everyone can see. So I'm sure there's going to be some kind of drama. But as far as couples go, there's only 6 of them. Right? So it's Joey and Monica, Sarah and Ben, Virginia and David, Taylor and Daniel, Lauren and Dave. So that's it. So we'll see what happens. And I think the only one that's going to make it is Virginia and Devin. Mark my words. Mark my words.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they've got the best chance, best odds.
That's it. Yeah. And that's our take on it. Yeah. So thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Till tomorrow, Friday night. New episodes. Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll find out.